Good morning, class 10. Welcome to Commercial Studies class. Children, in the last classes, we have discussed about the merits and demerits of advertising. Children, today also we'll talk about the same chapter, that is chapter number 3. Name of the chapter you already know, that is advertising and sales promotion. Children, we'll be today talking about the next topic of this chapter, that is advertising agency. Yes, or you can say ad agencies. Children, you all know now about advertising in detail. You have studied the merits, you have studied demerits, you have studied meaning, and I have told you many more things about advertising. Now, children, today we will talk about the agencies, those who produce these ads or those who help in advertising to the company. You can see in the slide it is written advertise with us. Yes, advertising agencies help in companies to advertise their product. So first of all, we'll talk about what is advertising agency. So children, business firms and other organizations advertise their products and services or ideas, etc. on regular basis. They need a company, they need an institution which is an expert in designing advertisement, in releasing them through appropriate media so that they can get benefit of advertising. That's why they go for advertising agencies. Yes, children, advertising agencies is a specialized organization, mind you, specialized organization which provides all advertising related services for some fees or commission. They don't work free of cost, they charge fees or commission for that. When it is owned and operated by the advertiser himself, it is called in-house agency. But few firms have their own advertising agency. Most of them choose outside or independent advertising agencies, and there are hundreds of advertising agencies in the India, but most of them are located usually in Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi and Chennai. Yes, children, there are several departments such as copy media, production research, finance control, public relation, etc. in advertising agency. Children, a typical form of advertising agency is needed to advertise a product. So you need to just understand what is the meaning of advertising agency. In boards, in board examination or in the examination of the council, they can ask you what do you mean by advertising agency. So children, in the slide also I have written an advertising agency or ad agency is service business dedicated to creating, planning and handling advertising and sometimes other forms of promotion for the clients. An advertising agency or ad agency is a service provider. They are service provider. Why? Because they are providing services to whom? To companies or whoever so wants to get their products or ideas or services advertised. So, they work for the client to create an effective and goal-oriented advertising campaign aimed at representing the companies positively in the eyes of targeted customer. Why advertising is being done? We already have discussed, to create goodwill, to create and to impress a target customer. So specialized advertising agency is required. Why? Because we need to target our customer, and suppose if the customer gets convinced, definitely half of the marketing work is done. Right, children? So this was about advertising agency. Children, in this chapter we need to talk about advertising agency in detail. So now we'll be talking about the one type of advertising agency also, that is in-house agency. I told you that in-house agency is owned and operated by it one and only client. The advertiser, instead of company outsourcing its advertising to an agency, its ad campaigns are mainly handled by its own in-house agencies, and that's why the most important form of advertising agency is in-house agency, about which you need to know, right? Now coming to the next topic, that is functions of advertising agency. Children, this question usually comes for 5 marks, so you'll be writing the functions in detail. Children, we'll be discussing about the 7 functions of advertising agency, and in this you have to prepare all the functions and you can't change even the sequence of these functions, right? So coming to the first function, that is planning. You can see number 1, planning. The advertising agency plans the advertising campaign. Action, a client firm delegates the responsibility of advertising planning and execution to the agency. The agency must have fair knowledge of firm's product, its history, the present market condition, distribution method, price level, and other condition. A successful advertising program is built on the basis of these data. Before advertising a product of a particular company, advertising agency needs a detailed information about the history of the company, about the product is to be advertised, about the name of the firm, about the brand, and everything. We have to provide detailed information to the advertising agency, then only they can plan ad for our companies. Second point, creation and execution. Specific advertisements are created, the advertising copy is written, the layout is prepared, illustrations are drawn, photographs are finalized, and a correct mechanical form of running it is selected and the media is produced. The advertising agency prepares a suitable advertising copy for insertion in all the medias. First of all, advertising company plans that how ad can be created. Then they create an ad, they show it to the company owner or whoever who wants to get their product advertised. Their pictures are being all finalized with them. Then only the ad is executed. Coming to the third function of advertising agency, that is coordination. The advertising agency coordinates several activities. It often works with the client sales force and distribution network to ensure the long-run success of advertising program. The combined efforts of salesperson, distributors, and retailers ensures maximum sales. Idea, media copy, and decisions are coordinated properly to project and implement the advertising program. So in this stage, through this function, they coordinate their work so that they all work in the same direction and then they can target and can impress the targeted customer. Fourth function of advertising agency is accounting. Yes, it is related to the cost concept. The advertising agency maintains proper accounts in the cooperation with the client. The account executives see to it that the accountant in charge or the administration of the advertising program of agency sides keep a proper record of the cost. A misunderstanding arising between the agency and the clients is eliminated by the accountant. The amount of fees charged from the client and the payment of the taxes, bills, and other charges are accounted for by the accountant. Fifth function, this was the fourth function, accounting. So we have discussed four. Now we'll be talking about the fifth one, media planning. The advertising agency selects the media or the set of suitable media for the client to reach the right type of the audience, which is an important factor in media selection. The rate, the circulation, the population, the audience, the income, and the other important informations are collected for the purpose. It has to see to it that media plan is carried out properly, which is devised to implement the campaign's communication objective. The media experts know all about the media and their coverage. They prepare the schedule of advertising, publication data on printing, and at the same time available and the time available from television and radio. So they keep a detailed record. They prepare about the media through which or the medium through which this ad can be advertised. The sixth function is research function. Research is a key function in an advertising campaign. The decisions on the creativity, the media selections are taken on the finding uncovered for research. Research makes every decision systematic and logical based on facts and figures. Then they collect the data, they do research work that whatever medium of advertising they are using, is it effective or not? So they find out. And the last is internal control. The advertising agency manages its employees, finance and other resources effectively and economically. It conducts the business behind the scene and exercises proper control over the activities and the funds. Public relations, sales promotion function and the client contact are maintained by the management for the effective operation of advertising agency. Right, children? So in all we have discussed about the 7 points. Children, you can't change the sequence and in this you need to prepare all the 7 points.